Perfect. All right. When you're on the main page, you're going to go ahead and say something like get started or log in. Go ahead and create an account using your LSU email address, and then you're going to create a password. If I can get like a thumbs up or just eyes on me whenever y'all get through that, and we'll kind of move on. Yeah, no worries. If you're on your phone, it might be a little bit more different versus the desktop. But again, we'll have the video to kind of reference back to. No, not logged in. Wait, let me see what it has. I'll shoot. Yeah. When y'all get logged in, yours might look a little bit different than mine just because I have used this several times. As you can see, I've had definitely a lot of templates based off of different presentations, but likely there's going to be something that says create or design a site in the top right-hand corner. Y'all see something like that? Yes. What does yours say? Okay, so I think you might be one or two steps ahead of me. So stay right there. You're going to click something that says design site or create new site. So I'm going to go here. You're going to get this little auto block that's going to talk about bringing your ideas with AI. We're going to say set up without chat. This is where you are. When you get to the question of what type of website do you want to create, go ahead and select the option of portfolio. And then we're just going to re-click portfolio again. And then hit continue. All right, it's going to ask you, what do you want to name your site? I recommend either using your first or last name. You can say Enk, HSS 1001, whatever you prefer. But for my portfolio, I'm going to put my first and last name. And then hit continue. Wix is a popular site for individuals who either want to have a small business or use it for several different purposes. So there's a lot of different like apps you can add to it. For the purpose of this class, we certainly don't need that. So you can go ahead and just hit skip. And then continue to dashboard. Okay. From here, what we're going to do is on the right, it says design site. Go ahead and click on that option. And then we're going to pick a template. Right. So when you are on the template screen, we're going to hover over creative and you see where it says resumes and CVs. That's going to be the option we select. So again, you're going to hover over creative and then select resumes and CVs. And this is what your screen should look like. Do y'all all see this? Okay. You're on that? Gotcha. All right. For those who are on this screen, the template that we're going to use for the purpose of this class is the one that says hello and has the three different graphic little buttons. When you hover over that, you're going to click edit. It might take a second to load everything. All right, it's again going to pop up something that says enhance your AI content. We're just going to exit out of that in the top right. All right. So whenever we work off of a template, rule of thumb is to first and foremost, delete any content that you're not going to need. Yes. Let me go. I'm a little bit blind. I can't see that far. All right, so for the purpose of this class, we're not going to need every single page that this template has. So on the side, do you see where it says pages and menu? You're going to click on that, and we're going to delete the ones that we don't need. So what we're going to keep is just our home page and the projects. So we're going to hover, and then with the three little buttons, click on that, and then delete, and delete that page. We're going to delete our contact, and then delete, and we're going to delete portfolio. This platform itself is going to be your portfolio. So we're going to hover and delete. Are y'all good if I move forward? Okay. Next is we're going to change the content to make it our content. So at the top where it says Nicole Ryder, when you hover over that bar, it gives you an option to select quick edit. Select that. That's going to be the easiest way to change that text. So we can change it to be our first and last name. In this tab where it says paragraph, this is where you can be creative. I'm going to put career coach because that's my job title. I've had students do LSU psychology student, aspiring lawyer, computer science, whatever is either your major or how you want to represent yourself. That's where you're going to put it in that tagline. So I'm going to put career coach. Also, keep in mind that you can change the colors in this document or in this portfolio to, be your own personal preference. Like I can change this yellow to be any kind of color, shape. There's a lot of different ways you can make this more creative, but for the purpose of it being simple and easy, this is going to be the easiest template. But I just wanted y'all to know that you do have the option to change the graphics or even the colors based off of your own personal preferences. All right. From here, after we change our first and last name, put our tagline, do you see at the bottom where it has some of those contact information? When we click on that, we're going to do the same thing and change that. So do you see on quick edit where it says phone, the phone number, email? Y'all see that? Perfect. You don't need to include your phone number for this. So go ahead and delete phone. Your phone number will be likely on your resume that you're uploading. You can go ahead and keep your email. So I'm going to put my LSU email, aenk@LSU. And then for the follow me socials, we are only going to be uploading our LinkedIn account. We don't need to have our Twitter, our Instagram, our Facebook. One tip I give freshmen specifically, and even students who are in the process of potentially looking for an internship or a job, do yourself a favor and Google your name. Be aware of what's out there and available for a future employer to see, because I promise you they will do that. They will do some research. So whether that is you just knowing what's out there and being comfortable with that, or putting your privacy settings on your more personal social media platforms. So we're going to set the link and hover over the little Twitter icon, which I think is outdated now. I don't think it's Twitter anymore. And we're going to delete that. So right now we're going to keep our LinkedIn. Do y'all have your LinkedIn created yet? Yes? Perfect. So what I'm going to show you, and you don't have to do it right now, but there's a specific way to get that link for your LinkedIn to populate to your profile. So I'll go to my LinkedIn. When you log into your LinkedIn account, it's automatically going to take you to your feed. If I copy and paste the link from here, it's not going to show you my profile. You have to go to where it has your face, view profile, and then you can see here it has my first and last name, and that's what I'm going to copy into the platform. So we can copy, go back to our site. It says, what social page does this icon link to? You're going to hover over that little chain icon, and then we're going to put our LinkedIn account. Done, and then done. Last thing on this section is at the bottom, it says 2035 by Nicole Ryder. We're going to change it to be 2025, our name. All right. That's okay. All right. Are y'all okay if I move forward in a few seconds? Good. Okay. All right. Next thing we're going to do is we don't need the contact button anymore because keep in mind we deleted that. So we're going to change that contact button to be LinkedIn again. So we're going to have two places where we're linking our LinkedIn account. So we're going to click on this, double click on the blue button where it says contact. We're going to change the text and you're going to hover over. You're going to change it to LinkedIn, which is how it sounds, but with a capital I. So LinkedIn. Right. From there, it says choose a link. You're going to hover over that little chain icon. This is instead of going to a page, we deleted that page. So now it's going to go to a web address. So we're going to click on that. I always recommend when you're uploading either your resume or a link to add it to new window. That way you can always kind of go back and forth to see if what you're uploading is uploading properly. So we're going to paste here and then done. What I personally like to do, yeah. No, you're good.
So for the link that we have to put
Mm-hmm.
so when you have your profile, you go to the search.
So when you go to your LinkedIn account, just make sure that you're on your profile that has like your picture versus your feed. The feed's going to be like if you're on Facebook or Instagram, that's what you're seeing as far as the social media content. You want to copy and paste the link from your actual profile. Does that make sense?
Yeah, is it search bar?
Yeah.
You're going to view.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. You're good. No problem. And that's a good question. What I like to do when I'm making content or creating stuff on a Wix portfolio is you can preview things as you go along. Like you have the opportunity to kind of make sure that things are transferring correctly. So we can hit preview. And another good thing to keep in mind, think of how people might access this content, especially if you do choose to elevate this more throughout your college experience or use it for different purposes. It will also show you like what does it look like on a phone because we know we use our phones quite frequently. So you can make sure that those margins are going to be correct. So I want to make sure that the LinkedIn accounts that we just updated are going to go to the right place, which they do. Any questions so far? Are we all on the same page? Yeah. Okay. So we're going to go back to editor. Next thing that we're going to do is I'm going to show y'all how to upload your resume. I always recommend whether you are uploading it to your portfolio or even applying to, yeah, you're good.
After the, yes.
You're yes. There. And make sure it's at a address to a web address.
Oh.
So when going back to resumes, when y'all are uploading your resume to a job platform, applying to a job, always save as a PDF. Why do you think it's important to save as a PDF versus a Word document? Anyone know? Yeah. So a big thing that can potentially happen, especially in processing software, is a Word document can change on the other side. So in recruiting, what can happen is if you upload your resume as either from Google Docs or notes on a Mac or Word, the formatting might change as it kind of filters through the system. A PDF is not going to do that. A PDF is going to make sure that whoever downloads it, one, they can't change it, and also it's going to pop up a little bit more correctly. So for that, we're going to hover again and click on that resume button, and you see where it has that little link icon again. Go ahead and select that. We're going to make sure we are uploading a document instead of a page, and we're going to choose a file. For the purpose of just keeping things organized and concise, I recommend having like a little folder on your desktop that just says Wix materials. That way you don't have to kind of go and dig through your other assignments, class projects to find the things that you need. So we're going to upload media, upload from computer, and I'm going to upload my resume here. So open. For the resume, yes. And then what y'all can't see here, but it should be on your screen, you're going to add to page. And it's going to pop up right here, and you're going to click done. And now when we hit preview and we click on resume again, it's going to pop up with your resume. Any questions? Very good? Okay. All right. So the other button that we have here is projects. Now, this is something that you might not be adding to right now because you might be choosing a project later on, but I'll show you an example of what I've done in the past. So last semester when I was doing workshops, I did a project on a conference presentation that I did. And all that we're asking you to do is to write a reflection on what you learned, the skill, the experience that you had. On my example, I had a picture with mine. If you don't have a picture either that you want to use, there's a ton of different filter presets on Wix that you can use. Like if you're talking about a presentation, they have a picture of someone presenting. If you're talking about a PowerPoint you created, you could, take a screenshot of the first slide of that PowerPoint and upload that. So I'll show y'all what that looks like. Go here. It takes a second when you first click on it.
FYI, everyone, we'll be working on this particular project page next week in class.
Yes, and throughout the semester, I will be hosting office hours. I know this assignment isn't due for a while, but specifically with that reflection paragraph, or I know last year a lot of students came to see me to talk about the about me. The about me is a really helpful tool and thing to get comfortable with. And I see that pretty often, especially in the common interview question of tell me about yourself. That tends to be, without a doubt, the most dreaded question students fear in interviews because it's really hard to synthesize like what's important. So thinking about what do you want the audience to know, thinking about who might potentially be looking at your e-portfolio. Those are all things that over time you get more comfortable with, but I certainly know as a freshman, we don't always know that practice. So looking at just this prior example, when I click on my projects tab, this was just a project. It was a SOAS conference. I had a picture from the presentation. And then over time, again, this is just for our class assignment, but I would encourage y'all to, keep on using your portfolio if you choose to. A lot of what I did in my master's research that I found to be really interesting is a lot of students found value in kind of this reflection on their learning as it kind of helped them, promote their personal presence. It helped them to really identify the things that they were learning and where the growth that you made from a freshman to a senior is pretty impressive. And so just something to kind of keep in mind. But I'm going to go back to the Wix editor. I want to show y'all when you do add your about me and your picture to make sure that any content that you're adding, you want to adjust the margins to make sure that it doesn't look a little bit different. So we'll go here. When you add your picture, you have the opportunity to schedule a professional headshot. We do offer those in the Career Center. You can schedule one on Handshake. I believe CXC also offers headshot appointments, but really just choose a picture that you are confident in. Make sure you have good lighting. Make sure it's not inappropriate. One example I use on the inappropriate stance is I had one student submit a picture with like the devil horn icon from Snapchat. Really not what we're going for as far as our professional experience, but again, whatever makes you feel comfortable, or having a friend take a picture with a white background, that's gonna be fine too. But let's go ahead and change this image here. We'll hit change image, upload media again, upload from computer. I choose this picture, open. Add to page. And this is a good example of the content that I now change. The margins look a little bit different. So you can double click on the image and adjust as needed. So I can adjust it down a little bit. Last thing that I'm really going to show y'all is with this a little about me text. I had mine drafted, and like I recommended earlier, use a Word document for like getting all your content together. So you can draft out that paragraph and what you want to type into your about me area. And it's just a little bit easier when you have, time to work on it. So I'm going to pull from here. Oop, that's not the right one. We'll go here. All right, so I'm going to copy and paste from this section. Go back here and then edit text. Can delete. And fill. So this definitely looks to be a little too wordy with how it's already situated. So I'm going to space out, this line, and then I can drag my text out a little bit so that it kind of condenses it a little bit more. Just keep in mind that you want to make sure that you don't go too far off outside those dotted lines you see, because then it's going to look a little bit funny when you go into that preview. So I'm just going to adjust here a little bit. Kind of bring it out a little bit, and then I can even adjust my about me to make it a little bit more centric again. And then let's go ahead and click preview. All right, so that looks pretty good. I have my different buttons, contact, make sure it looks pretty good with my mobile, and looks pretty good. So those are really the key things that are required for the assignment. But again, you're always welcome to add more projects, change the colors of the graphic icons to your personal preferences. I hope you find that it's pretty easy to use. I think the most challenging part of this is just going to be the about me and the reflection paragraph. But that, again, is certainly something that we can talk about once you do get to it. That's kind of all I had for y'all. Did anyone have any questions, any difficulty with their portfolio? All right, well, again, you will have my email and we will have opportunities to work on it later, but hopefully you got pretty much a good start on getting it pretty much completed.
Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
y'all.
Now that you have this template set up for your e-portfolio, you can see that there are